All right, cool. I think we're live. Magic.
All right.
Magic of the internet. So we'll just make sure everyone gives us a thumbs up as far as quality, things like that. And then if we're good to go, then we'll do the show.
Cool.
Of course, YouTube delay. So we're going to wait a couple hours until they actually see this.
Of course.
Martian nerd. Okay, that's the first one. Come on, YouTube. It says we're streaming already.
See the feed.
Oh, you do? Oh, it just went for me. That's why. Oh, yeah, the WAN show. I forgot about that, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, all right.
They ain't got shit on us. They ain't got shit.
They don't know. They don't know what we got. Okay, all right.
What audience?
Yeah. What, I got 6,000, 7,000? That's nothing. Okay. So, guys, just give us... just tell us yes or no if the quality's good, and then we'll do the show. I'm expecting to see Matt and Brian and all of them in the chat, but you know.
Of course. Of course.
All right, let's see. I'm just going to move your frame real quick. Move this right here.
Yeah, I kind of slouch a little bit in my chair, so hopefully that's not too much of a problem.
No, it's all good.
All right, cool.
And boom. Yeah, all right, I fixed that shot. Now let's check in this shot. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I don't want you guys to complain about like contrast and stuff like that. I don't care about. I'm just talking about is the sound good? That's all that matters.
This is a live stream, not a feature film, people. Mother of God.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, yeah, Kyle should play with his contrast a bit. I'm like, no, it's good. We're good.
I think hair and makeup's a little off. Shut up.
Oh, there they are. There's Matt. There's Brian. Okay, so I think we're good.
Ew.
One person said no, and to you, I hope you have a terrible night.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Let's see if I still remember how to do one of these shows. All right. Okay, and I'm gonna go solo shot. So this is your big spot where you gotta say now. So hopefully you don't ruin it.
Oh, of course not. Wouldn't dream of it.
Yeah. All right.
What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
Yeah, it's just you. No big deal. All right. Here we go. On this episode of Pimp My Setup, we're going to be talking about your setups you submitted for tips, tricks, feedback, and much more. So if you're interested in that, then sit back, relax, and interact because the show starts
No. Yeah.
I think that's the first person that has sung it so far. So
No one's done like an opera number?
No.
Or like a Broadway musical number?
No, so
Okay,
you sold it. You got it there. So that's good.
Still got the pipes working, you know.
All right. Oh yeah. Oh, gross. Schaefer's here. Yep. Terrible. Oh.
Ew, Schaefer.
I should probably tweet this. That'd be a good idea.
Oh yes, I'm gonna tweet it right now.
Boom. I'll race you to it. Here we go.
No, I'm done.
Oh, son of a.
I already had it all typed out. All I needed was the link.
That's not fair.
Yeah, I totally cheated.
Ah, okay.
For the greater good.
So now I'm gonna take my time typing this. I'll just slowly type away.
Damn, now we're losing efficiency. I should have kept you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah. Oh well.
Fake typing noise. Here we go.
Right,
almost done.
Boom. Yeah. See, mine isn't even as good. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Wow. Words. They're hard. I can't do them.
Words. I don't even.
Yeah. I'm just not going to even attempt to say anything. Okay, guys. Let's do it. J.J. Abrams. Yeah. He's not directing this, Brian. I'm sorry, man. We just lost a viewer over that, but it's all right. Okay. Here we go. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Pimp My Setup, episode number 32, recorded live on April 3rd, 2015. My name is Matt Philly. You can check me out on Twitter, @MattPhilly.
And I am Kyle. I run a YouTube channel called Awesome Sauce Network. You can go ahead and look me up and subscribe if you like the content that I do there. I do a lot of PC DIY type stuff, a lot of tech-related material. So if you like computer building, or if you just like the occasional sketch comedy video that involves tech, go ahead and check me out. Also on Twitter, my handle is @ForeverAKyle.
Boom.
Because yeah.
And what's the story behind that?
The Twitter handle?
Yeah.
I'm literally just really bad at thinking up names. Like I consider myself a creative person when it comes to something like naming or giving something a name or an identity. I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, let's make it personal. I should probably put my name in there. Yeah. What about my name? Well, it doesn't really change much. Like that was my creative process for thinking of my Twitter handle. I was like, whatever. And Awesome Sauce Network was too long, so I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
At least you have a Twitter handle, right? That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. Sure. Whatever.
All right, so let's talk about setups. And actually, before we do, I should probably mention, if you want to know when I'm going to be live, I send text alerts thanks to txtsignal.com. Just text the word live to 94033, and that's how it works. So here we go. Let's go to the first setup. First setup is submitted by Martian Nerd Attack. I hope that's not your legal name. I don't know if it could be. Could be.
At least that wasn't my Twitter handle, right? Come on.
Exactly. So anyways, he is 16, and he just wants to know what to do. He says he knows that the wires aren't the best underneath, but he wants to know what we think. So I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna hand you the mic, and I'm gonna let you tell us what you think.
Well, unlike you, Matt, I will not be nice. This is a terrible looking setup. No, I mean, it definitely is far from perfect, but I've seen worse. I'll be honest. The first thing that stands out to me are the cables that lead from the desk itself to this upper shelf that he's got up top.
Yeah.
It's very distracting. It actually, by having wires like that, it kind of forces your eyes to follow them and to see where they're going. And that kind of takes away from looking at the actual desk and the entire setup overall. So I see that some of those wires are going to a subwoofer that he's got up there. And I don't know. I think maybe he should put the subwoofer on the bottom, like on the floor. That way it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, as well as the cabling doesn't have to go up there to this upper shelf and kind of look really just kind of cluttered and messy. Even though he did a good job zip tying them together, I still think having them not against that blank white wall would probably be for the best.
Yeah.
The other thing that stood out to me is that he needs to ditch that chair, man. I mean, I know he's 16. He probably, takes him a while to save up for a nice chair, but that thing looks like it would give me scoliosis, like within 24 hours of use. It just looks really, really cheap and uncomfortable. I mean, at least get something with the armrest, some armrest would be nice. But he's got some space there on the desk. He could probably afford to get a slightly larger chair that has a bit more cushion and padding, and really kind of allow him to game and whatever he does at his desk for longer periods of time more comfortably. Apart from that, I'm not sure what the laptop is doing there off to the left. It looks kind of out of place. It's also making me wonder if that's why his monitor is kind of shifted off to the right side a little bit instead of being completely centered if he's trying to make room for his laptop. But honestly, I don't see why he would need to put the laptop there. I think if he could find a better spot for that, because obviously he's probably not using it every day all the time.
Yeah.
So I think he's definitely got some real estate to work with on his desk. So I'd like to see that more utilized with a dedicated spot for his laptop elsewhere. Also, again, being a 16-year-old kid, I know it's hard to save up to buy nicer things, but I would probably invest in a nicer monitor. I can't really tell, scale and stuff, how large that monitor is, but I don't even know if it's 1080, but getting a nicer 1080 panel with maybe some, I don't know, a nicer looking bezel. I mean, if this is really Pimp My Setup, you kind of want everything to look nice.
Yeah.
And I think just a black monitor would make the whole setup kind of come together because he's got the black speakers with the tablet and the tablet stand. So I think having a black monitor would also just kind of suit things a little bit more nicely. Apart from that, I think cable management at the bottom, of course, could be improved a bit. He needs to empty out his trash can. I'm sure his mom has told him so many times to do that. And he should just do it. Listen to your mother. But those are my initial thoughts. I think maybe in the future, later down the line, consider doing a paint job on the walls. I know there's, kind of got this brown on the right and white in the back. Maybe meshing those two together or like choosing one or the other. Maybe go all brown or all white. Yeah. Or just at least touching them up and maybe getting some, a new desk in the future to actually match a little bit nicer. Especially the chair. The chair being blue doesn't match at all. But he's like, again, everything is so subjective because he's a 16-year-old, and I know like I wouldn't be able to paint my room. Like my mom would be like, "I will kill you if you mess with the walls," like bitch smack, hands down. So hopefully maybe later on in the future when he's older, he can change something about that. But hopefully also in the future when he's old enough to do something like that, he'll be out of his parents' house. So there's that too. But those are my initial thoughts. What did you think, Matt?
Well, looking at it, I mean, for the most part, I basically agreed with everything you had to say. You know, like the shelf scares me having the subwoofer up there, but like, I see what you're going for with the shelf, and as you like basically mentioned with the furniture, the coloring just doesn't work. Like if everything was black, that shelf, the desk, I mean, it would change the whole setup, especially with the new display, things like that. But I do agree for the size of the desk, your placement of everything is so weird. Why do you push yourself to that right side with everything over there and so far away? It just doesn't seem right. Like use the center of the desk, and then put the iPad or whatever to the side. Keep it, I don't know. I think I just like everything being like exactly in the center. It just makes sense. If you have two displays, then sure, do it however you want. But with one, put it in the center. It just looks out of place. Doesn't make sense. I mean, sure, the wires are bad. You're aware. The shelving, it's not going to work having those cables go up. No matter what you do, it just looks terrible. It's not going to look good. But I do agree that the chair looks painful. It looks like his legs are making like an impression into the somewhat of a cushion that exists. But yeah, the color of the walls too just really confuses me. Like well, I guess it would be your parents. Like, who thought that would be a good wall color? It just, it just doesn't look right. I mean, I don't know if you were smearing poop on the wall when you were younger and this was just a way to cover it up and all in one shot. But yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say other than what Kyle already touched on. But I think if you took both of our critiques, put it together when you got the money, you could really make the setup nice because you have the room for it. So you might as well make use of it. But yeah, so I mean, other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. Do you have any other closing thoughts on the setup?
No, I mean, like just kind of building on what you said, I think the shelf thing is odd and a bit concerning with the subwoofer up there. I didn't even think about like the structural integrity of it. Having that big subwoofer up there could theoretically pose some kind of threat if there's an earthquake or whatever, or if it's just a shitty shelf and the thing's too damn heavy and it all comes crumbling down on you, ruining your crappy laptop that shouldn't be there in the first place. But honestly, I think the shelf could work. I think he just needs to put the right things on top of it.
Yeah.
Like he's got the little figurines like by his monitor and by his right speaker and stuff. I think that might be something that he could easily put up on the shelf where it's super lightweight and it's more of kind of just that's like the shelf is like for the flair, right?
Yeah.
Because everything that's functional that you're using daily should be directly in front of you within arm's reach. Anything that's further away from that should be something that you rarely use or don't use at all. So maybe doing a little bit of flashiness with building his figurine collection up there or whatever, replacing it with those iPad boxes or whatever those boxes are, the retail boxes, and your trophy. I know you're probably proud of your trophy. You can leave the trophy there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's funny. I don't know if this is true or not, but I can't zoom in either. I mean, unless you feel the need to zoom in. People are saying by the laptop that's either toenail clippings or it's chips. But I'm thinking maybe it's just like scratches in the desk, but I'm really hoping it's not toenail clippings.
I'm zooming in and it totally looks like human feces. So I'm going to go with human feces. No, it looks like it's chipped. It just looks like, there's some wear and tear there.
Yeah.
And, even if, I don't know how you would get away from that if you were stuck with this desk for a long period of time, but maybe getting like one of those really extra large, like full desk mouse pads, that look really nice could maybe cover that up and it just wouldn't look so bad because then people wouldn't be like staring at it. It's obviously very distracting, as indicated by the chat and stuff, but, or just slide if you're gonna have the laptop there, move it back like a few inches, man.
Exactly.
Just a few inches to cover it up.
That, or I mean, you can even get those, like they have those furniture markers. You just color it in. You can do that.
Yes.
That's an option. But yeah, let's go to the next setup.
Sure.
Switch it up a bit. This one is submitted by Besher. Yeah, let's just go with Besher. I don't know how to say his name.
That's my new Twitter handle coming at you.
That's the unique one right there. But this, here, let's do this. Kyle, how old do you think Besher is?
Well, judging from the fact that this is taken within a prison cell, I would probably have to say 35 to 50.
Besher is 12 years old, not in prison.
Okay.
Not in
wow,
prison.
He's done some hard shit in his time. He's already in a cell, man.
But other than the actual room, the setup compared to the last one is such a dramatic change. I mean, look at the cable management. The one thing that really pisses me off about this photo is all he had to do was get rid of those headphones for the picture. It would make
I know.
like, I don't know. It really pisses me off. But taking a look at it, what do you have to say?
All right, so yeah, that was actually my first comment. Well, my first comment was, why is this taken? This looks like it's just in a prison cell. I mean, it really does. There's like nothing around on the walls or any kind of like flair or decor to indicate that it's not a prison cell. So when I first thought about it, I was like, all right, so he gets a 0 on theme, unless his theme is prison cell. Then
Then he
10.
nailed it. Yeah,
Nailed it. But I mean, it just looks very like it looks like he just moved into this place like that day, and like all he had time to do was set up his little desktop area, but nothing else. I mean, I don't know what the rest of the room looks like, but I think there needs to be something else to just kind of make it feel a bit more homey and to make it feel more personable, because right now it doesn't really have too much character or personality. And I would like to see that come through. You're 12-year-old, you've got things that you're into, fan fiction stuff that you're in or movies that you love. I'd love to see some posters, or I want this to feel like a 12-year-old setup, like a kick-ass 12-year-old setup. You know what I mean? So apart from that, I was a little concerned about the door that's swinging open right next to where he might be sitting. So I was like, all right, do people just knock you on your ass every time they come into your room, or what's going on here? I mean, he's 12, so he's much smaller than either of us, hopefully. But I still don't know if that's like the most ideal location. And, forced perspective type thing. I'm not sure exactly how much room or distance there is between that swinging door and his desk. But that's something to consider as well. The earbuds gotta go, man. I mean, I don't care if it's because you're taking a picture to send in to a show like this, or if it's just a daily thing where it's just you there. It's just really messy. And it would just kind of like migrate all over my desk because it didn't have a dedicated home. So I mean, it's the same thing with the earbuds, and even more so. And earbuds are a little bit more tricky in one sense to actually have like a wall, like an on wall hook for them or something, because they're earbuds and they would still look messy on the wall. But I really want to say I really want to say I don't like that router there. I think having the router somewhere else where it's not visible or just not taking up some of his desk space. So this is what I would do. I would invest in like even a budget desktop speaker setup. Maybe a 2.1 system, and have a speaker on the left and right and a subwoofer on the bottom, and ditch the router. Find another place for the router, because it doesn't need to be on your desk. It's not one of those things you actually need to physically interact with. I mean, it is Wi-Fi after all. Or if you've got your Ethernet cable, you don't really need their keyboard. That looks like a $5 membrane keyboard that I used to have 10 years ago. Try and upgrade that. Save up your allowance money, mow some lawns, whatever you have to do, and get a nice, a cheaper mechanical keyboard, an affordable one at least. It really improve your day-to-day performance, at least for me.
Pokemon, all that. I was flashing it all over the place, and you don't seem to have any interest at all. You just seem like a very boring 12-year-old. So show off that you're actually a kid. You're not a robot. Because I don't know, with a name like that, you could be a robot. So I don't know. You basically hit everything.
It's a questionable name. I thought it was a CAPTCHA at first.
Yeah, good thing it wasn't like all over the place and like smeared across the screen. Otherwise it would have been. But I mean the door, things like that. And actually one thing I wanted to say is it's not even, why are you in the corner if you have
degrees, and put it against the right wall to see if it would fit, before the door, because then he wouldn't be, interrupted by the door swinging open at all.
Yeah.
I mean, technically. And did you happen to catch where his PC is?
It's a laptop, and
okay.
I don't think there's a picture of it, but he said that it's stored to the desk, which whatever that means. If that means in the drawer or mounted to the desk, I don't know, but it's not in sight, so kudos.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, unless if you ever want to use the laptop, you're screwed. But
of course, turning it on's a bitch.
Yeah.
All thought out with the black with the red accents on virtually everything in the setup.
Yeah.
He's even got the desktop background to match that. And I thought, this is really well thought out, and I really like the wall mount. I think cable management, I think it's probably just the angle of the picture that he took, but it kind of makes me cringe a little bit to see them all kind of just frayed on that side. I think maybe just, taking some twist ties or something like that and cabling them up so that it's just one long strand
Yep.
would look a bit nicer. Um, because it is, that second monitor sticking out quite a bit. So people in the room could probably still see those cables fairly easily from that side of the desk that he does later on. I like the Yeti there. At first, I was like, oh, is that too close to the case or is it not? But then I was like, well, there's no real practical place to put it to the left of the keyboard because the
Yeah.
monitor's kind of in the way. So I was like, okay, I can forgive that. And it's still relatively accessible. As far as his computer, his desktop's still relatively accessible, so that if he needed to plug something in or take something out from behind his system, it's relatively easy to do so because he does have a bit of space between his desktop and his right monitor.
Yeah.
And again, having a wall mounted monitor is so key to is a really great way to tidy up your whole setup because you can kind of just maneuver it anywhere you want. And if the cable management is right, you can really make it look very very tidy and clean. I do think that he should really have a place for his headphones. As I was talking
Yep.
earlier, you can see it right there. It's straight onto his keyboard. Like there's a problem when that's the best place you can think of to put your headphones is right on your keyboard.
Yeah.
It's he needs them underneath would be pretty functional and really tidy it up. But I mean, it could also be that he just wanted to show off his headphones and say
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
look, these match too. So I don't know. Maybe for all I know, he's got a hook under there. But if he doesn't, something to consider. And I even like how the webcam has like little red strips on LED strips behind my monitors before, but never behind my desk. And I think this kind of really having it behind your desk the whole length kind of encompasses your entire setup instead of just being behind your monitor, which is just one aspect of it. So I think that really brings it together as well. But all in all, I think I really do love the setup. Well
Yeah.
done.
That's how I have. You can get one that you can still get the shock mount for the Yeti, but that thing is huge. It's just not practical. You can get even a microphone like mine or an Audio Technica or something mounted to the desk on a swing arm, a scissor arm, and you can just have it come right out in front of you, push it away when you don't need it. Something like that could work. Or I see a lot of people do it over top of their monitor, like a condenser that could pick up all the sound, but it's just chilling over the top. So that's something I would recommend. I would love to see something above the monitors that has that red or that black into it because it just looks a little bare above. I don't know what the whole room looks like though, so I can't really comment on that. And then I was expecting a little more out of the keyboard too. I was expecting something that's just glowing red, just
True. Yeah.
something insane, and I was a little upset with that. But I mean, because everything is red. I was even expecting his Yeti to be custom painted to have like red all over it. Like I don't know, I was a little disappointed with that too. But I mean, at this point, I'm just nitpicking because it's there. I see a little.
No, I totally agree with you. That's those are all very good points.
Yeah. So I mean, that's really about it. I think we nailed it on the head there. But this next one. Yeah, this next one. This next one is submitted by Hammad. Yeah. we'll go with Hammad. Hammad is also 16, and yeah. So taking a look here, I mean, you want to talk about cable management on point? This is it. He decided to plug things in and just let it sit because he's a boss. He doesn't care what people think, So I gave him a 10 on wire.
Really good stand, so I couldn't adjust it. So I would just literally take a couple books and put them underneath. And the problem with that was that the books obviously aren't intended for that sort of thing. So they would be like sliding around my desk from time to time, and I'd always have to find myself like repositioning it. And on top of that, it just looked terrible.
Yeah.
My advice to him would be find a nicer book at least. Don't get the SAT book.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna impress any girls that come over to your place like, oh, SAT, huh? Did you get a 1600 or whatever the score is? I think just getting something better to utilize as a little prop for your monitor would be a great suggestion. Also, that chair is way too big for that desk. I don't even know how you would begin to like fit it within those little confines. It's just such a small corner, but yet everything's so disproportional with the chair being huge. This guy needs the crappy blue chair that we saw in the first picture, for this kind of setup.
Swap
And
it
I mean,
out.
look at the mouse pad. The mouse pad's so sad. It's just drooping over the side of the table. It looks
Why
like
even have
everything's
one?
just collapsing. It looks like that fucking melting clock painting thing, fuck? And then I don't know. There's so many things wrong with this. It's just out of whack, right? I mean, this nice space on top of his unit, but then all he has right in the middle is this tiny little skull. Like, get him some little skull friends to fill it. You know what I mean? It's so empty, but he's got so much potential here with this setup. So get a small, maybe get a bigger general, because I really don't like the desk being there where it is. On top of his entertainment center, which seems like the TV section. This is the console area where you play your console, your Xbox and shit, but the corner should be reserved for the desktop stuff. So I think maybe getting a bigger corner that extends out to the left along that left wall and having your desktop on that table, because you definitely don't want the desktop on the ground, but just pulling the desktop away from the TV area, I think would be a good call. And that would also allow you to maybe continue using that chair. No, get a smaller chair. That chair is awful, and I hate it. And because even if he had more room at his desk, the chair is still at that size is going to be in the way of your TV. So if, for example, someone wanted to watch TV, but you were at your desktop in that chair, the desk, it's like eclipsing the entire TV. The freaking the back of the chair is so massive. On top of that, I think the cabling is epic, disastrous. I mean,
fast. We're not even going to go in depth on this one. We're just going to quickly look at it, throw up all over our screens, and then we're just going to, I mean, look at this. You guys want to know how to get, I literally, when I originally scored this, I gave it a negative like 9,999 or whatever. I mean, this is just painful. And this one also, so much potential just ruined. I mean, who puts iTunes gift cards taped to their wall? Like, do you see that? I mean, like GameStop gift cards. Like, why are you still going to GameStop? I mean, what is going on in this photo? Because I have no idea.
How old is the person who sent you this?
Oh shit! I feel bad because they're 12.
Oh, they're 12.
But still,
iTunes. Come on, even 12-year-olds these days are like, "Fuck iTunes, man. This shit's old. Shit sucks, man."
But seriously,
Steam. Yeah.
I mean, just look at this. I mean, the speakers are behind the displays. I mean, just everything.
Yeah.
Is just on your desk, and if it's not on your desk, it's on your floor, and if it's not on your floor, it's on the wall.
The PC being on the floor is not okay.
Yeah, and it's carpet.
It's never okay, especially when it's carpet, especially when it's right next to your feet. It just it's cringeworthy to me. Seeing the little system down there, that poor little system. It gets hotter, it gets significantly more dusty at an alarming rate. You got to clean it out ever so often, a lot more frequently, which I'm sure he's not doing. And not to mention all the cable mess down there. And why is there a speaker down there on the floor? Is that a speaker?
I think does
he have ears on his feet? Why is there a speaker down there?
You don't know. He could.
Yeah, don't judge me, bro.
Yeah, seriously, you're jumping the gun there.
I mean, at least a subwoofer maybe, but I don't know why the speaker's there. I don't know. Yeah, like you said, the two speakers that are on his desk are behind the monitors. Yeah, which is just not cool either. He's got N64 games off to the left with like a laptop setup. Like, clean that shit up. I don't know. And then he's got this. Did you see this? Like, by the right speaker on his desk, you see that little controller? Isn't that an RGB LED strip controller?
Yeah, actually.
I think it's a controller for like an RGB LED strip. So what I thought when I saw that was like, all right, I'm a firm believer in only having the essentials on your desk. So unless you're using it every day, all the time, it shouldn't be there. So what kind of scenario do you have to be in where you're constantly changing the colors of your LED strip wherever it is in your house? Like, do you wake up in the morning and go, what kind of mood am I in today? I think it's teal day. And then you switch it over to teal. Like, you don't need it there, like next to your mouse, like put it somewhere else. I don't know. There's so many things wrong with this, but like you said, I don't want to expand and
I think he's actually here in the chat. He said, I will fix it all. No, you won't. Why would you even? Fired. Yeah, why would you even send this photo? If you've ever seen my show, you should be ashamed of yourself. I mean, this is just painful. It literally looks like your cables just vomited all over the place, and for that, I am disappointed. But that's why we're not going to give you spotlight. And by the way, I feel even worse because he says that Barnacle inspired him. Well, I'm pretty sure Barnacules' setup does not look like this. So
I'm pretty sure Barnacules has a tutorial on cable management for your desk. So if you really want to be inspired by him, go watch that video and see what he says.
Yeah, jerry rigged. Let's start there.
That's
And then you can come back and talk to us. But now let's go to the next setup. This one's also kind of like, I don't know. This is a painful episode. His name is Peter. He's 17, and Peter, what are you doing, man? I mean, this is just painful. I mean, you have such a cool room. I love those ceilings and stuff like that. You can make this like the coolest man cave ever, and instead, you didn't. So, what do you have to say about it, Kyle?
All right. So my initial thought was, why are there 2 lamps? I saw the 2 lamps, and I was like, don't you only need 1 lamp when they're that close to each other? Like, why would you need 2 of them? So I would do away with one of those, probably the smaller one that looks like you got it. Well, actually, they both look like you got it at Kia. But I pick one good functional lamp, especially if it's just going to be, sitting in the corner of your room. You only need really 1 good light source, maybe 2 good light sources in your room, and neither of those look like they provide adequate light unless you're like reading a book right there. So figure out a solution for that. Find a secret stash for your Kleenex, bro, because everyone that walks into your room just knows that you've been fapping. They know this is a fap cave.
The fappening.
Everyone. Yep, it's the fappening right there. So, be a little bit more discreet, all right? If you have any lady guests coming over, you don't want to gross them out. So on top of that, chair's a big thing that a lot of people overlook. I think getting a really nice, comfortable chair really makes you feel like you can stay a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's cool if I'm here for 2-3 hours because I'm comfortable and like my back's supported and my ass isn't hurting, turned inside out. So get a nicer chair. That one looks really uncomfortable and stiff. I also see your computer in the bottom left on the floor. No, just no. Don't do it. You have so much desk space.
Right.
Put the system on the desk. Hide the tissues. Hide the tissues and put the desktop somewhere where it's like has healthy airflow and isn't like just vacuuming up all the crap and dust that's on your floor. Especially when you have hardwood floor, like carpet at least can kind of sometimes gather, keep the dust in one area, but the slightest gust of wind will kind of kick up all the dust on your hardwood floor and really just ruin your system over time unless you're constantly maintaining it, which is a pain in the ass. Also, again, with the books, stop using books for things other than reading.
Yeah.
I mean, your MacBook Air should not be on top of a book. And seriously, okay, I get the monitor thing because you want the monitor to be a certain height with your eye level.
Yeah.
But why do you have it for your MacBook Air? Like, I don't understand.
You can't even type on it.
Reasoning. So you can type on it?
No, I'm saying you couldn't even type on it because you'd be like tilting the device, like
exactly. Yeah, does
he
have like the nimblest fingers in the West or something, where he can just? I don't understand. So do away with the book. I also think that you need a pen holder. Those pens that are just hanging off the side of your desk there look kind of questionable. I mean, they have tons of pen holder options. You go to any store these days, there are things that will hold your pens.
You can get a cup.
It. You can get a cup.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. Yeah, exactly. Because obviously you have no drawers in either of your desks. So but you have a lot of desk space as a trade-off. So get something to contain all of your office type supplies. It looks like you do a lot of like paperwork potentially in here. You know what I mean? So get some tools to facilitate that live on your desk. I mean, I see the printer there, so that's good. Just get some other accessories to help you tidy up the place. On top of that, cable management could be improved on the bottom there, underneath both desks. It's just kind of hanging out. We got the human entrails thing going on again. So fix that up. But like you said, Matt, I think this room has a lot of potential because it's different. It looks really cool. It looks like an older place. I really like the poster that you have up there. It definitely adds some personality, as simple as it is. So you have a lot to work with here. You have a lot of space. It doesn't seem like you're super cramped in here. So I'd really like to really fill it in and kind of refine it a bit in terms of decor and just tidiness and stuff like that. Yeah. Additionally, I do like that you have a wireless mouse. I think that's smart for your setup. You have such a big desk and your monitor is a bit further away from you. So having a wireless mouse was a good call, as well as the keyboard. It looks wireless as well. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say.
Yeah, well, let me solve his issue for him. Let me break it down. This is the guide to fixing this setup, right? What you're gonna want to do, since you seem to love IKEA, is you're gonna go there. You're gonna spend $10, just 10 on an IKEA. Yeah, $10 on an IKEA Signum. And actually, you know what? Get two. Just get two. Put it under the middle of your one desk and under where those two. I don't know. I still don't understand why you have two lamps, but put it under there too, and literally just lay all the cables on the IKEA Signum. Boom, cable management solved. Now, taking a look at the desk, I mean, it looks like you're like, I have this printer, I'm just gonna put it there, and it makes no sense at all. You have so much room. You can really have one of the most badass setups ever, because you can have like 7 different workstations, honestly. So what I would do is, I mean, make one part of the desk for your PC. It looks like you have a Mac Pro, and then he's got like a PC, then he's got which I don't even understand how both of them are hooked up. Are they both to the same display? Like, I don't get it. Or whatever.
I don't think they're on. They don't look connected. I think they might just be old systems that he's got in storage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also really weird, and you probably shouldn't do that. But I also think that you could get storage for under the desk. Guess what? IKEA sells that too. You buy it, you slide it under, bada bing, bada boom. You have all these different places to store all your random miscellaneous crap, and you're all set. You can
tissues.
Yeah, exactly. You could have one whole drawer dedicated to the fappening. You know, you could do it like that. But seriously, everything is just so out of place. Just think it through. Should you have 2 lamps next to each other? No. So do not put them next to each other. It makes no sense at all. This whole setup is just extremely confusing, and I think that you just need to figure your life out, then figure the setup out, and you'll be on the right track. But with that, let's just move to the next one, because I can't waste time.
I can't look at it anymore.
Yeah. So this one makes me happy. All right. So this one's submitted by Sam. Sam, man. He's 17. There we go. He's 17 years old. He's a pretty big fan of the show. I always see him hopping around. And see, this right here makes me happy, because when someone says they're a fan of the show and I recognize their name and I see a setup like this, I'm like, oh, they actually watch the show. This is so cool. I don't know people that watch the show. But seriously, I mean, taking a look at this, what do you have to say?
I think this is by far one of my favorite setups for today.
Yeah.
The cable management is exquisite. It's very well done. I think the only thing that I would nitpick about the cable management, if I had to, would be to find a way to kind of pull the cable coming out of the headset off to the side somewhere, okay. make it route a little bit so that there's a little bit less distance that it has to go before you can't see it. I just feel like it looks a little bit sloppy going all the way down diagonally for such a long period, but you know that I'm nitpicking again, because other than that, it looks pretty great. You know, he's definitely done a lot of done a fine job of routing it behind the desk so you can't see it, which is difficult because he's got one of those desks that doesn't really have a backing, you know, like a back wall underneath it. So that definitely requires a bit more effort and stuff. So well done on that. I also really do like the I really love the desktop. I think it matches his desk perfectly, and I don't know if he intended to do that, but at the same time, you know, it seems like he's very detail oriented, so I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if he did. And having the headphones kind of match the desktop, which match the desk, just everything goes together really nicely, and that's really nice to see. I love the blue LED inside of the system. I think it's an NZXT 440 or something like that, but it's a really nice system. Also, I like how he kind of has the TV off to the left side where it's not too far away from his monitor, but so if he wants to, you know, hop on PS3 or Xbox, I think he's got his Xbox there, then he can just kind of swivel in his chair and all of a sudden he's got another monitor dedicated for Xbox. And I also like how he's got the Yeti there, so he can kind of use it for either platform, right? Yeah. It's kind of right in the middle there, which I thought was a nice choice. All in all, I mean, it looks like he even vacuums his room, which is astounding. Yeah, you get a clap.
Clap it up, yeah.
For that.
It's amazing.
I don't even vacuum my room all the time, so I think that's really nice. You know, I'm digging the one monitor setup. I think he's got it going on there. You know,
Solid.
it's solid, you know. Like I don't have any problems with the single monitor, you know. If you're not doing like some crazy editing like I do frequently, and you're just there to play some games, and you know, triple monitor setup's not practical, or you don't have room for it, or you just hate it like I do, then like I think it's great. So I think he's really done a lot with the little amount of space that he has here. I mean, because that's a small desk. I would
It
say that's
really
a pretty
is.
small little IKEA desk, but it just seems very comfortable at the same time. And I can't really see all of his chair, but it looks like it's about the appropriate size for a desk that size.
Yeah.
And I also see that he's got a little vaporizer pen on his desk as well, which
Badass.
I fully support. You know, I'm a firm believer, like I said, of only putting the things that you're using frequently on your desk, and I have mine on my desk as we speak right now because I use it all the time. So
Boom.
right on, brother. I think this is a really nice setup overall, and I like the chick in the bikini on your wall. I wanna ask her out.
Yeah, I have to say, like, for once, not even focusing on the desk, I really like this setup. I like the storage to the left. It's very clean. It's weird that you have vitamin water. I don't know what's up with that. I mean, I would think that would go elsewhere, but if that's what
It's
you're
like, are we in a lobby or something?
yeah,
That's cool.
exactly. I mean, I do like that's a nice way to store boxes. You want to keep them cool, at least make it look nice. I love the tiger and the, I don't know what kind of statue
Buddha
that is. Yeah, I was going to say, but I don't want to, offend people because apparently I'm stupid when it comes to things not related to setup. So, I mean, as a whole, like the desk, the furniture, everything on top looks great. If you really want to take it above and beyond, and you want your chicks to really look nice on the wall, frame them, make it look even better. I don't know. Without frames, it just looks kind of like kiddish where you just kind of tape it to the
True.
wall. So I would like to see that framed. I love the whiteboard, the colorful markers. It just looks so neat. Like everything about it is just neat. And honestly, I may not be the biggest fan of Yetis, but the blackout just goes so well with this setup. It looks so good. And it just works for your setup, especially with one display, having it right there. It's going to work. I'm not going to nitpick it. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. I would like to see behind that one TV, just, pull on the cables a little more, wrap some Velcro around it. It kind of looks like it's like spewing out. Just keep it one nice strand. But really, I mean, this whole thing, it's vacuumed. It's clean. It just makes sense. And that is a first. It looks good,
Part of me wonders, like, did he just like make it immaculate just for this picture to send you, and then like by now it's just a complete disaster, like
Yeah.
it's just cable explosion. Like he actually just unplugged almost everything. Like I don't know, but honestly, if you can maintain it this way and keep it looking this good all the time, like good for you.
Yeah.
I think that is very difficult to do. And I agree with you. Like I think that was one of the flaws. One of the only flaws in Cameron's system was that he had this really nice black and red theme going on, but his Yeti was like chrome colored.
Yeah.
And I think this Yeti would have done so much better for him to have it on his desk, than the chrome. So I think that that this guy Sam really got that correct. He got that right, I should
Boom.
say.
So there you go. Now, man, all right. This is the last setup. This is, yeah. Okay.
Let me sit down for this. Oh wait, I already am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wish I could sit down twice.
So let me read this, and I feel terrible because he wrote like the longest thing I've ever read in my life. I'm pretty sure I read a novel just learning about him. So if you guys want to see this email, I'll show you guys eventually. But this thing, I mean, there's just so much going on. I guess I'll just mention the elephant in the room, or in this case, the giraffe. Yeah, I mean,
we at the San Diego Zoo.
It's.
Wow.
I mean, let me see if I can actually. I'm looking at his. Oh, a baby giraffe. Okay, that's what. It's not a giraffe. It's a baby giraffe. Just so you know.
Like that makes it okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, man.
Come on.
That's. I don't know.
And just putting him into slave labor as your headphone holder is no better, sir.
I mean, yeah. I don't even know where to begin with this, but I guess I'll just dive in. This setup is one of the most confusing setups I've ever laid eyes on. I mean, so much coolness and then so much that makes me wonder if you're okay. I mean, the case looks really unique. I'll give you points for that. I've never seen something like that. You got the white Xbox One, the white PS4, boom, kudos, maybe not the best spot considering your feet go there and you're just smashing them with your feet, but hey,
Yeah.
you do you. Does that say Satan is waiting?
It does.
Okay, just double check it. I mean, it does not surprise me, but hey, you got that going on as well. So Satan.
I hope Eddie here isn't like 12 years old.
Oh, actually, let's see. How old is Eddie? And I feel bad because Eddie's birthday is coming up, or already passed. Happy birthday, Eddie. Let's see, Eddie. What is your age? I don't think Eddie wanted to provide his age, but I'm gonna make
Enjoy
this.
Your birthday, Eddie. Satan's waiting.
You're almost there, man. But I mean, this setup is just something else. I mean, I would really enjoy it if the cables coming out of the secondary display were managed.
Yes.
That pink arcade thing really confuses me. No idea what that is. But damn, I mean, it looks like he has a lot of room, but he, for some reason, went for the smallest possible desk and put everything he owns in that corner. So, I mean, looking at this, what are your pet peeves?
Definitely the size of the desk. I feel like, okay, size of the desk for sure. He's definitely got room on both sides. Like on both walls, he has room to expand his desk. Maybe just get a bigger one overall to accommodate more room, to accommodate his system and both of his consoles. He's got a lot of hardware here, right? I mean, he's got his mid tower system that it looks like, both consoles, headset, controllers, and he's got this arcade thing that you pointed out. He's got a lot of shit, but very little space to accommodate it all. So I think having a bigger desk would really make things a little less cluttered. It feels very cluttered.
Yeah.
Additionally, I think that the monitor up top. I mean, I'm a huge fan of wall mounting, but that just it seems a little high to me. And maybe he's got an adjustable arm there, so he could bring it down, and that's fine. But like you said, the cabling is really throwing me off because I like how it looks. I like how the monitor looks up there, but then the cabling just ruins it for me. So I would like to actually see maybe if you could take the cabling and almost kind of zip tie it really snugly to the lamp that he has there, all the way down, so that you don't really notice it as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that would be a good solution because it just doesn't look very neat. Kind of just jumping over to hide behind his little arcade thing. Also, I mean, let's address the giraffe in the room. I don't know if there's something sentimental going on there, or if you just like to have overly sized headphone holders. But I think it's creepy that he's there with you,
watching the display.
Watching the display clearly. I mean, I'm here for you, man. If you want to talk, don't talk to the fucking giraffe. I'm right here. I'm a real person, and I'd feel much more comfortable you talking to me than this giraffe here. Even if he does have style, with the beads that he's wearing, the stylish giraffe is still a giraffe at the end of the day. Find a place for your shoes. They look really bad right there by your lamp. It feels like there's an invisible person who's naked with just shoes on, just standing in the corner, like Slender Man or something. And then also, I don't know if you sit on that pillow that's on your chair, but the chair looks pretty poofy and cushiony enough. I don't think you really need that pillow there, unless I don't know how hard you're fapping, man. But whatever gets you through it, I suppose. Not my cup of tea, though. I think the other pet peeve of mine is the foot space or lack thereof, that's being blocked by the consoles and the desktop there. And I think that's why, like, most importantly, get a bigger desk and that way you have more room for your feet and you're not constantly kicking into your hardware down there. And that'll also open up some airflow for your system, for your PC especially. I think having a bigger desk would allow you to put that desktop on top of the desk instead of beneath it. Even though it's not on the floor, it's still not the most ideal. And having it on the desk is really, really a smart move. So get a bigger desk. And lastly, the last thing I want to address is the bottle of Purell on his desk, which is just a bit disconcerting to me. And you could look at it two ways, right? You could walk into this guy's room for the first time and go, oh, he's got a bottle of Purell right there. Like, what a clean guy. Like, he's always, sanitizing and stuff. At the same time, you could walk into this guy's room and go, why does he need that much hand sanitizer all the time? What is he doing in here? And what is Satan waiting for? There's just so many questions. Like you said, Matt, there's just so much confusion here. that just kind of boggles me.
Yeah.
And I guess on a final note, I'll say that I'm not a fan of having the monitor being elevated, like his main display elevated a couple inches above where his keyboard and mouse are. I actually find it much more comfortable to be completely eye level with my monitor, and my neck gets really strained, even if I have to look up just a couple degrees at my display. And sometimes it's even a bit more comfortable looking just slightly down. Like if I was looking down like 4 or 5 degrees at my monitor, I find that a lot more comfortable than looking even slightly up at it. So maybe, plan that out with the next desk you get, get something a little bit more level for your eyesight. Obviously, maybe that's what the pillow on the chair is for, to elevate him so that he, can be eye level with this display. So that's also something to consider. But
Yeah.
overall, very confusing and puzzling setup here.
Well, apparently he's in the chat right now. He's 20 years old. And you know what? Based off that, man, if you don't have the money for a different desk, just do this. All right. This is cheap. This is really, really cheap. Go to IKEA, buy a tabletop, and buy the $3 legs. You only need 4. Bada bing, bada boom. Put it in the corner, and there you go. That's literally all you need. And then you can even salvage that desk, take pieces of it, and attach it to the new desk. I mean, you just need a new desk. It will change your setup altogether. Literally all you need. I mean, as someone said, Jeff from Toys R Us, the giraffe. I mean, that's interesting. You could still make it work. I mean, if that's really something you need to have in your setup, we're not going to make fun of it. It's not a big deal. We're just kidding around when we say that, but still, maybe it does, like you said, maybe it does have sentimental value. I don't know. Hopefully. Otherwise it is really, really just...
Let's be honest, Matt. No one needs that.
I don't know, man. He's got Purell right there. You don't know what he needs. But, I mean, the whole setup is just confusing. But I really have to give you props. You have like every color known to man in this setup, whether it's your shoes, your case, whatever, you have it. I like the posters on the wall. Obviously you're very artsy with the, it just, the beautiful's crossed out and it's got so much meaning behind it. I'm sure you're an artist of some sort. So I think it's cool. I like the setup. I just think if you had a different desk, you would change your whole setup. Like, well, obviously, you would change it. There would be a new desk, but
your life would change.
Yeah, your life would change. No longer would you have a giraffe watching porn with you. You would be watching it by yourself. And at the end of the day, that's really what matters. But so many unanswered questions. I'm sure if I read through his thing again, I would understand. But yeah, so I don't know. I like the wall color.
Yeah, I think the wall color is cool. It's pretty neutral.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things that could match with it. I think the Broken Beautiful picture matches the wall color perfectly. It complements it nicely.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like an overall calming color. It's a good background color. It's without being too over the top.
Yeah. So there you go. Hey, Eddie, good job. But we would like to see some things change. But now is the part of the show where I go over the scores. I almost forgot to do it, but I will do it this time. So here we go. We're going to hurt people's feelings. But the first setup submitted by Martian, whatever his name is, 35, followed by Besher with the 55. Cameron with an 82 as the setup's taking forever. There we go. 82. And then we got Hammad. Yeah, Hammad with the 38. Followed by Sharan with a 26, Peter with a 41, Sam with an 87, and Eddie with a 51, which means our winners are, of course, Sam and Cameron. I think that was a dead giveaway this episode, but yeah, that was a nice variety, to say the least, of different setups. So yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, hey, Kyle, thanks so much for coming on, even though you were insanely late. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no. You ruined my chance for a second guest appearance.
Yeah, it's all right. You didn't have one anyway, so no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, thanks, bro.
But seriously, thanks for coming on, and I hope everyone enjoyed. If you got this far into the episode, go ahead and actually say a random word, Kyle.
Pleb.
Okay. Pleb Flamingo. Write down in the comment section down below if you got this far into the episode. And one last thing I'm going to say to you, what's your biggest fear? Like what scares you? Spiders, snakes? What is it?
My biggest fear.
I just ask all the co-hosts. Yeah,
I really do hate spiders a lot.
Yeah.
And it's really one of those things that it's like the only thing I wish I wasn't afraid of because my fiance is the only one more terrified of them than I am.
Oh.
So anytime like we'll be sitting there watching a movie, cuddling on the couch, and all of a sudden she'll be like, ah! Like it's like fucking King Kong or something. And then instead of being like, I'm here, don't worry, I'll be like, ah! It's just really demasculating, and it's just not good for my persona, for my reputation. But
Yeah.
I'd say that's a big physical fear that comes to mind is I fucking hate the shit out of spiders.
Good, because I want everyone to go ahead and tweet pictures of spiders to Kyle on Twitter. And
no.
yeah, I got you. So there you go,
You
guys.
are a dick.
I know I've done it to everyone, so it's all right. And people still get pictures, so expect pictures for the next year or two. It's gonna happen. But yeah, so there you go, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Later, guys.
Boom. There we go. So that was a good one, and I hope you get tons of pictures tweeted to you of spiders. So
I thank you very much, sir.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
I love how everyone's writing pleb flamingo now. Like this is the live version, guys. You have to write it in the other one. Oh, WAN just ended. Wow, did we really just hit it on the spot? Like we started when they did, and
Oh my
then
God.
ended when they did. Go
Directly
figure.
competing with their IP.
That was, man. That was an action-packed episode. We had a lot going on there. A lot of feedback.
Yeah, there was some good setups there to talk about,
and some not so good, which really gave us a lot to say.
Yeah, I have to admit, I think having really terrible setups is always more interesting than having good ones.
Yeah. Well,
there's just so much more shit to talk,
Yeah. What? All right. If since this is the after show, this is not the actual show. Which one would you say is the worst out of all of them so far on this episode?
Okay. The worst. Let me go back to the pictures really quick and take a second glance.
Okay.
The absolute worst. Oh man, it's got to be the one that we talked about the least. It's got to be the one with the damn RGB LED strip controller on it.
Yeah,
with
Sharon.
the PC on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sharon, come on.
Sharon, come on. Well, it's funny because that's actually the one that got the lowest score anyway. So we're intact with the scores. That's good. Got to make sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Let's see, guys. Anything you want to ask Kyle before we wrap this up? Because if you got some time, you want to answer some questions.
Oh boy, opening Pandora's box here.
Yeah. Well, I want people to ask some of the weirdest questions possible. So
remember, guys, some things can't be unseen.
Let's see. Come on, guys. I forgot there was a delay. Here I am waiting for a question. I'm like, nope, there is the delay.
So, someone's complaining that I didn't add them on Google Plus. It's probably still gonna do better than Google Plus.
I was gonna say, you never know. I mean,
see.
Kyle leaked nudes. Do you plan on leaking nudes?
If you haven't found them already, you're doing it wrong.
Learn how to use Google. Do you like spiders? Guys, come on. Obviously, he loves spiders. Where is his awesome sauce? I don't know.
My awesome sauce. Well, if you're speaking technical channel wise, you can find me on Awesome Sauce Network. It's youtube.com/awesome sauce news, because that actually used to be the name of the channel until I switched it about a year ago. And then because I realized I wasn't doing any fucking news, so I was like, why am I calling myself this? So Awesome Sauce Network, you can find me there. And yeah, if you're talking about awesome sauce in terms of like my jizz, then you should also know where that is. If you don't, go reading a book on anatomy or something.
Some of these questions I can't read out loud. Did you miss the show? Yes, you did. Definitely did. Oh,
so
man.
what happened? Did you actually go live? You're like, hey, everybody, my guest is not here.
Yeah, well, I did that when Linus was supposed to be on, and without him even tweeting, I had almost 500 people watching me wait. So I'm like, this is great. I will do this more often. So I said to myself, I'm like, he definitely thought it was the different time zone, so I'm just gonna milk this, and I'm just gonna go live. So I went live.
I like your style. The show must go on.
Exactly. So. I mean, I kind of needed a co-host, but I waited.
Oh my God, some of these spider pictures are horrible.
Yeah.
They're just so bad. Okay, Spider-Man's cool. But I bet most of these are taken in Australia. Fuck
Do you ever
that.
want to go to Australia?
Hell no.
Wow, yeah. So I'm even getting some of them. Guys, why do you have to torture me? I'm just a host. Jeez.
Backfire.
All right, let's see. Do you know what a lemon party is, Kyle?
Oh, do I? I helped create the lemon. No, I didn't.
uh,
You're a sick man.
See, all right. Dippin' Dots said, "What is your favorite ice cream company?" Clears throat, nudges, winks. Definitely not Dippin'
Jeez.
Dots, right?
Yeah, I hate fucking Dippin' Dots. That's for sure. These things are the worst.
Yeah.
I don't really have one. Shit. I like
uh,
Froyo.
Froyo, there you
I'm a
go.
Froyo person.
Do you like mustard?
I freaking love mustard.
Good, good.
I love
Okay.
all the mustards.
Someone said nipples. What is your response?
Yes.
uh, let's see. Someone said, "Say my name, I demand you." Their name's legit Reaper.
There you go.
Yeah, don't say their name. Just let me say it. Don't.
Mission complete.
Are you going to PAX Prime?
No, I'm not. I've been so slammed lately with just content that I have coming up in the next few months, and the only two events right now that I feel that I need to be at are really CES and Computex, which happens every year in Taiwan in June.
Oh wow.
And I was at CES earlier this year, but I'm not going to be going to Computex because I'm doing a bunch of wedding planning that I guess suppose takes priority over work life. So
Yeah.
perhaps next year. But I have been to PAX East several times in Boston. Absolutely love that convention. I love going to the gaming stuff. I've been to E3 a couple times. So maybe in the future when things level out a bit and I'm not so slammed, maybe if I can get some extra help, maybe an intern editing for me or something like that, I could probably afford to go on more of these events and do
Yeah.
some coverage there, have some fun.
There you go. You don't ever want to go to like an actual like YouTube event, do you? Like VidCon, something like that. Is that not your cup of tea?
I've been to VidCon once. It was a couple years ago when I was still working for Newegg, and I thought it was just going to be so much different than it was. It was just a bunch of fangirls, like fangirling out over like the dude from SourceFed and shit
Yeah.
like that. And I was like, "Whoa, this is so weird." Like it was just such a much younger audience than what I had expected,
True.
and it didn't really feel like one of those it didn't really feel like one of those like conventions like CES where it's more about networking, where you can just walk up to other big YouTubers and be like, "Hey, we should collab on some projects, sometime." It felt more like a meet and greet type
Yeah.
thing almost. And they even did. They had like Felicia Day there and stuff, signing autographs, and I was just like, "Whoa, this feels like I should really be a bigger fan of some of these YouTubers in order for me to get the full potential experience out of it."
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe in the future, to see how it develops, I might consider going back to a YouTube convention like that. Because on one hand, on the bright side, there are a lot of YouTube staff there
Yep.
on site where you can actually I can actually talk to someone from YouTube like face to face
That's a
personally. I don't have to go through
first.
some shitty email system. Like, hey, why the fuck are my videos getting monetized, you dick? Like, I would love to be able to just walk up to some YouTube guy and say that,
Yeah.
and then get kicked out. Granted, but I think it has the potential to network with individuals that work at YouTube specifically, if not for other YouTubers, that kind of do what we do.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I'm actually going to VidCon this year. But yeah,
Yeah,
what I like about it,
beware the 12-year-old girls, man.
yeah, well,
They're
they
gonna be all
changed
over
it.
you.
They made it now where it's going to
Oh yeah.
be there's the creator pass, but the creator pass, they're on a whole different floor than the general audience. So
Okay.
with that, you get to actually talk to all the different creators. You're all together, which is gonna be cool. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. I've never
They
been.
need a place for the creators to escape.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
all of
Exactly.
the
Go to the
12-year-old
second
girls.
floor. Yeah. What's your opinion on the DRM problems with Battlefield Hardline?
I honestly, I actually have not. I briefly heard about it, but I don't know exactly what's been going on with Hardline. I'm not a huge Battlefield person. I use it for benchmarking, but I haven't heard too much about the DRM. Could you fill me in?
I don't know anything. They need to fill you in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, DRM is bad. That is what I can tell you
Yeah.
right now. I don't like DRM.
Just respond with the sad face. Just
Sad.
yeah,
Sad face
exactly.
over
Um let's see. My nips are too cheesy. Well, now we know. Let's see, Razer Chroma or Corsair K70.
Ooh. I've only briefly messed around with the Chroma, so I'm gonna say K70. That's actually what I'm using right now, and I really do enjoy it. It's a nice keyboard. It's fun to tinker with and mess around with.
Boom. Um, I just read Grim Reaper's comment. Alrighty.
What does he say? Oh, Jesus.
Any new skits coming in the future can be applied to both. Not me, but what about you?
I actually do have a skit coming up. Probably should be posting tomorrow. It's called Nature Tech, and it's the series that really wasn't supposed to be a series. I've only done one other Nature Tech ever, and it was like probably a year ago or so. But basically, it's kind of supposed to be like a parody, like nature show, but about tech devices.
Yeah.
So the first one was on the GTX 780 Ti, where I kind of speak in a British accent. It's really cheesy. It's like in the wild, in its natural habitat, a warm chassis, shit like that. It's extremely funny, and it's kind of one of those real like so stupid that it's funny type of things.
Yeah.
But I'm doing another one of those for the first time in a year, and that should be posting tomorrow sometime. Um,
Ooh, snap.
it's like one of those things that like one of those types of videos that only fans of the channel that or only people who have been fans of the channel for super long really know about. Like, I get a lot of newcomers that come in like every few weeks, or every day, who've never heard of it. And so they'll subscribe to my channel because of a review that I've done. And I'm like, oh, this guy's so professional. Like he gets in all the details and stuff. And then they'll watch something like Nature Tech and they'll be like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's just completely out of left field. And it's just kind of me kind of just being super weird and creative and funny and trying to have a good time with the channel and stuff. I don't always want it to be about, tech reviews and specs. I
Yeah.
like to have some fun here and there. So that's coming up tomorrow sometime.
Sweet. That's what I like because specs, yay, they're great, but you can Google it and find the specs yourself. You don't need someone to
Yeah,
reiterate it for you. So I like when people put their own little spin, especially with comedy. It makes more sense. Like,
yeah,
why am I going to watch you say something that I can just read? Give me something that
exactly.
makes it different. So,
Exactly. Or even if I see the value in having video as opposed to images or just text, instead of going to PC perspective or something, as great as those resources are for just quick and easy content that's really well written and researched. There is a benefit to watching a video on a video card, or
sure.
watching a video on a monitor to really get a feel for what it's like and how it looks and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if A, B, and C YouTubers are all doing the same
Exactly.
product, what's going to cause someone or force someone to watch my video over theirs if we're talking about the same damn thing?
Yeah.
So implementing elements of comedy and humor here and there, and just I think personality has a lot to do with it. Instead of stifling your personality and just trying to make it really mechanical, I think letting go of all that and just being yourself and being wacky, without overdoing it, of course, and just being yourself is really why people tune into you to watch the same unboxing they've seen a million other times. It's because they want to see how you'll unbox it,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Uh, but yeah.
Yeah. Some people didn't even know that you worked at Newegg. Yeah.
Yeah, so I joined Newegg in 2011, in June of 2011, and it was actually my first job out of college.
Wow.
Remarkably, but don't be too jealous. It took me about a year and a half to actually land a job after college. I was applying left and right. I must have sent in over 100 or so applications, probably more than that. I went on several interviews, didn't get shit, and finally got a call from Newegg and had to go in for like an on-camera audition. They were starting up their YouTube channel. They only had about 30,000 subscribers on it at the time when I joined,
Wow.
and I got the job after a month of back and forth. Like, is this going to happen? It finally happened. So I was one of three people on the video team. It was like this little rogue department with me, my boss, and Paul. And Paul was the only other guy on the team, and he had already been working on the channel for about 2 years, shooting videos and stuff, talking about tech things. And I was helping them edit for a while, and then they were like, "Can you do on-camera stuff?" And I was like, "I don't know, maybe." And then they were like, "Yeah, we could use your help." So I started doing on-camera stuff with Paul. We started a tech and news show called Yoked, which was a recurring thing that we did. That gained a lot of popularity over time. Over the last 3 years or 3 or 4 years, it's grown to about 370,000 subscribers from the initial 30 that I had started with. And then I resigned about 6 months ago to kind of just pursue the YouTube thing full time. I actually started the YouTube thing, I think it was 2012. So I was still at Newegg and I was like surrounded by all this great hardware. I was like, whoa, like I have access to all this cool stuff. It'd be great if I could start a YouTube channel and kind of talk about it freely, in my own opinion. Because, with Newegg, you're still a company and you represent the company. You have to kind of save face, right? And you can't
Yeah.
really be like, oh, this thing fucking sucks. Like, uh, you'll get fired pretty quick, you'll probably get a talking to of your boss.
Yeah.
So I was able to just kind of be more free and open about the things I was talking about. And that was really fun. And I was like, wow, I'm having a lot of fun doing these videos on my own. It's just a bit more freeing. If I wanted to do something silly or stupid, I could without having to get approval first. So about 6 months ago, I was like, I think I'm gonna just try to make this a thing, and resign from the company. Still did some contract work for them for actually up until very recently when I've just kind of cut all ties. I still left on really good terms with them, and it's very likely that I might be going in to do some guest appearances here and there. I still really love the people that are there. There was no hard feelings whatsoever. But yeah, I was at a Newegg for about 3 or 4 years, and
It's
it was a great
crazy.
experience. Yeah, it
Wow.
was crazy. It was a ride.
Crazy ride.
Yeah, sorry, I fucking just blabbed for
No,
like an
no.
hour right there.
I think that's interesting though. I mean, it's crazy seeing these people go full time in YouTube. I mean, obviously you're not just like waiting on AdSense money. Like, yeah, this is gonna pay the bills. Like, yeah, there's more to it, and people don't get that. They think you just sit here making videos, clockwork. Like it's not what it is. But it's crazy seeing you and Paul and just all these people doing it. It's and Jay actually just now,
Yep.
crazy. It's
Yep,
insane.
absolutely. I think Jay's kind of a bit more set and established than
Yeah,
me and Paul are. I mean, granted, we're okay, but Jay could have easily quit his job like a year ago and been fine.
yeah,
Whereas like Paul and I, it was like a real leap of faith that we took. Like, can we actually do this? I think because of it, it's kind of forced us into grinding really hard. But at the end of the day, it's something that we enjoy doing. It's something that we like. So it doesn't feel so burdensome to wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I got to shoot a tech video today. Oh,
yeah.
I got to build a computer today. It's like, oh, cool, I get to build that computer today. It's like
It's
it's a totally
awesome.
different attitude. It's all about the attitude, I think.
Yeah,
But yeah, huge props to both Paul and Jay for, especially Jay with his recent his recent action of kind of leaving his stable full-time job
it's
to pursue what he
crazy.
really likes. Yeah.
I think he said he was there for what 10 years or something. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
that's a leap right there. But like you said, he's got a little more of a comfy bed at night because he could have been doing it for a while, which is crazy. It's so
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what is he
Garrett asked me what's my favorite case besides the R5. Um, One of the cases that's always going to have some sentimental value for me is the Corsair 600T. I just really like that case. It was my first ever case, period. The first time I ever built a PC that was my own. I was looking through. I was on Newegg looking at cases, and I was like, all right, they all kind of look the same, and nothing really stood out to me until I came across the white Graphite Series 600T, and I was like, this looks pretty badass. Like, this is something that when you walk in the room, your eyes are immediately drawn to it and nothing else. Like, it's the first thing you see in the room. Whereas most computer systems at that time, back in 2011, I felt just kind of all blended in so well. They blended in too well to the surroundings of your room. And I really liked that it was mostly white with some black accents. And on top of that, it was just such a functional case. And I didn't even really get to appreciate how functional it was until I started really building more systems after that point. Because, when you start off with a really good system, when you're building in a really good case your first run, you don't realize how good it is until you've built in some really shitty ones. And so the more I would build, and be like, whoa, like, why is this cable management so difficult right now? Like, am I fucking up? Am I doing something wrong? Then I realized, no, the 600T was just really good at doing everything. It hit all my cables really well. There was a lot of room and, well placed grommets and shit like that. So I think looking back on it, the internal design layout is still one that Corsair uses for a lot of their current cases. So that just goes to show that it was really an innovative case at the time that still holds its own in terms of functionality and just robust buildability. So I really do like that case.
Boom. Um,
Boom.
let's see. You guys have one or two more questions. Let's see. Um, Someone said, have either of you used a Ducky mechanical keyboard? If so, what do you think? I haven't. What about you?
That's actually one that I have yet to try out myself. I've heard good things about the Duckies. I don't know how much better they could be than a lot of the other mechanical keyboard options out there today. Um, but I'm sure they're great. I'm sure they're just dandy. You know,
Dandy. Yep. Let's see. Trying to figure out.
I just went to their website right now, and there's a on their homepage they've got a video of Tasty PC
Oh,
doing a video. Now I want to do a Ducky video, so they'll put me on their homepage.
yeah. You gotta hit him up with that email, you know?
I'm not a hot blonde chick though. There's a problem.
Hey, you can make it work. I mean,
Yeah.
lower the shirt down. No. All right, let's see. Last question here is, who is your favorite tech YouTuber besides yourself and Paul? Oof.
Mm, Me and Paul are my favorites. I will have to say my favorite besides. Oh, this is so tough.
Hurt
Oh,
some
I
feelings.
I don't like picking favorites. Geez, if you're gonna say just like pure tech, oh man, like Logan, Jay, and Jerry, like kind of a three-way tie there, and but also like Dimitri from Hardware Connects, like all four of those guys, like they're the ones that I watch like religiously or I watch constantly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And I think their personalities are really what drive their channels as well, and all of their like their technical knowledge as well. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, they every channel is so different in its own way. You know, like I was saying, like what's going to cause someone to watch my unboxing of product A as opposed to this other YouTuber's unboxing of the same thing.
Uh-huh.
It's because of the different shooting styles. It's the different personalities. I mean, you've got Jay who's like really fun and quirky and but very like super knowledgeable and technical, and you've got Jerry who's just super eccentric and loud and fun and very playful, and then you've got Dimitri who's a bit more serious but also very like technical and just very refined. You know, it's like, man, maybe I should have dated a Russian guy in college, and instead of a Peruvian guy or whatever. I'm not going to judge, but they've each got their strong points, and I just really like the openness and honesty. I think that's one thing that I really look for in a tech channel is how honest the person is about their work, just about how they present themselves and how they talk about products. Like Logan has always been super transparent with everything that he does, and I really appreciate that. So it's hard for me to pick a favorite when there's so many good tech tubers out there.
Yeah. Well, to wrap it up, I know I said last question, but to wrap it up, how about just any YouTuber, not tech? Let's cut out tech for that. Who would be
Any
your favorite?
YouTuber?
Yeah.
Um, Probably Jenna Marbles, but I always watch her videos on mute. I just like to watch.
She is. She's nice. She's definitely nice. But
It's better than a giraffe, all right?
yeah, I'll give you that. I will give you that.
Jesus.
She's
All
pretty
right.
nice though.
Yeah, no, she's super hot.
But as far as content though, like actual
Oh
content.
God, what kind of show is this? Being all legit. As far as content goes, oh man, like one of the old sketch comedy channels that really isn't around anymore, but I really loved a lot was Good Neighbor Stuff.
Never heard of.
Um, oh man, check out their videos. I think they're still around. Like their videos are still up, even though
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
not producing any new content. But it was just these like three guys who were like best friends or whatever, and they just did sketch comedy, and they were so effing funny, like kind of dark humor, kind of crude at times, but just so effing funny, like right up my alley and my style of comedy. Check them out, Good Neighbor Stuff. Actually, two of the guys are huge now. They started out just like shooting videos in their parents' house, and now one of them does the commercials for it's like AT&T or some carrier. But the other guy, Kyle Mooney, he's actually on SNL. He got picked up by SNL, and he's
Wow.
doing freaking episodes of SNL now.
Holy
Like he's a
crap.
regular. It's just such talent, and just like these three guys, like I have friends, but none of us are that talented. Like why couldn't we be that talented? And like get
Yeah,
picked
yeah.
up by TV shows and shit. But
That's
I,
crazy.
I really love their stuff. It's because it's also just so shittily done. It's just like some dude with a handheld camcorder. You know, there's no tripod, there's no
Yeah.
production, but it's the content that's so good. It's their timing, it's the comedic timing, the scripting, their acting. They're really good actors. They had to have been in drama or something like in high school or whatever. But I highly go check them out. They have a really good video called "My Roommate is Gay" or something like that. It's really good stuff.
Awesome. Well, I definitely want to check them out because I love that the tech side, but I also love comedy. That's like my main focus. I also like vlogs too, but not a lot of people like vlogs that are in this
Right.
tech realm. But yeah, oh, really? Matt Schaefer's back in the chat. Come on, Matt, get out of here.
God damn it! Thought you had pulled out.
Yeah. He doesn't know how to, so we got to teach him. But yeah, so we're gonna end it here because I don't want to keep you too long. Plus, people actually sit through this and they watch the whole uncut version. So there you go. The more you know. But yeah,
Heyo.
dude, thanks for coming on. I really do appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me, Matt. It's been fun.
I'll have you on again soon if you actually know how to tell time. We'll see.
I'm gonna get me a watch.
Yeah, I'll even hook you up with Matt Schaefer. Did you see he has his own watch?
What?
Yeah, the Matthias Times.
Why are you holding out on me, Matt? Why are you holding out?
Yeah, he should hook you up, or he's just gonna make you buy it from Amazon. So don't do it. He marks them up a lot. Anyways, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the flippity flop.